Thank you for joining my session. I'm registered psychotherapist qualified in Ontario, and every day I'm trying to share science-based psychology in my YouTube channel. And today we will be speaking about peak performance and state of flow, and neuroscience about your brain, what's happening in your brain when a person is experiencing a sense of flow and peak, and what you can do in order to trigger the peak responses intentionally, and which strategies, which routines, what exactly can help you to catch the state of flow more often, and how you can make use of it. And subscribe if you are new to my channel, turn on your notifications, and get ready, because today might be the day that would change how you work, create, and perform forever. Have you ever been so deeply immersed in something that you lost track of time, and you didn't notice how the time has passed and what you were doing, and your work seemed effortless, where you were performing at a level that surprised everyone else? What you have experienced has a name, and it's a neuroscience, and this is what most people don't know, and it can be triggered intentionally. So it's called the state of flow, and today we will be discussing what you can do in order to enter this peak performance and to make use of it. So today you will learn what the flow is and neuroscience behind it, and the four conditions that can help you to trigger this state, and the flow cycle that most people never fully enter it, and collective peak performance. And I will share with tools about the science how to trigger it intentionally. So what is flow? Uh, Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying what it called an optimal experience, and moments of complete absorption, effortless performance, and intrinsic reward. And he interviewed thousands of people from different cultures, different countries. There were surgeons, athletes, musicians, jazz players, factory workers, people from very different backgrounds, rock climbers, and he found the same experience described again and again. And they were describing that they were completely absorbed, and time seemed to be disappeared, and they were not thinking about anything else apart the work they were doing, and that it felt effortless even though they were working hard, and they felt completely alive. And the name of this experience was called flow. And according to neuroscience, what's happening in the brain during this flow is that experiments identified a key mechanism which was called transient hyperfrontality, where the prefrontal cortex, the seat of self-monitoring, self-criticism, planning, and worry, temporarily was downregulated, and self-criticism was quietened, and self-consciousness drops away, and people were finding themselves in a state and experiencing a different feelings where they could easily work, study, or perform their profession, and simultaneously a lot of different recognitions were accepted. Norepinephrine, dopamine, increased focus and pattern recognition, and anandamine, the brain's own cannabis-like molecules, increased lateral thinking and created connection making, and endorphins reduced the perception of effort. So all this was happening while the people were experiencing this state of flow. And the flow wasn't just a pleasant feeling, it was a neurochemical cocktail that produced your best thinking, your most creative work, and your peak physical performance. And another interesting finding found that flow occurs in a specific relationship between challenge and skill. And if the task was too easy, people were oftentimes feeling bored and were not interested. And if the task was too hard, they were feeling anxious, worried, and if the task was not very challenging or not very easy, this is where approximately around 4-8% above current skill level, This is where the flow was actually happening. So how you can make use of it? If your tasks are too challenging or too easy, it can be difficult to catch the sense of flow. So you can use this information and make your tasks slightly challenging if you want to catch this experience. And research by Stephen Kotler identified that flow doesn't just appear, it follows a four-step cycle. And understanding this cycle explains why most people never fully enter flow and why some people are able to access it reliably and easily. So the first stage consists of struggle. And at this stage, your brain is loading, you are working hard at something at the edge of your ability, and it can be difficult for you to stay focused, concentrated at this stage. At this stage, maybe you feel frustrated, uncomfortable, effortful, and most people mistake this with the task being wrong or their skills being insufficient. And many people start to quit at this stage, and that's why they never experience the sense of flow. However, it's actually signaling that your brain is about to prepare to enter this cycle, and if you could patiently wait for it, it will be easier for you to get into the second stage, what is called a release stage. And this is when you step away and your efforts become easier. You can take a walk, sleep, or do something undemanding, and this unconscious brain continues processing. And this is not procrastination, it's essential incubation. At this period, your brain prepares to get focused in its full manner, full capacity. And the third stage is flow, where optimal state arrive, effortless effort, peak performance, the creative insight, athletic zone, musical improvisation are happening. And the next stage is recovery. This is the most skipped stage, and skipping it destroys the next flow cycle. And neuroscience cocktail or flow is depleting. Sleep, nutrition, gentle movement, and genuine research are required to enter this stage. And performance culture glorifies this stage being skipped. And the science says that this is catastrophically unwise. So these are some misunderstandings that are people using that are avoiding them to stay away from the state of flow. And here is one most important practical insights from flow research. Frustration and discomfort that are seen in the stage 1 are not the sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that flow is loading. And the people who access flow most reliably have learned to tolerate the discomfort of this stage 1, and they know that persistence through the struggle is what unlocks the state. So staying patient, waiting for this stage to get into the second stage, and staying patient and at this stage can help you to switch into the second stage. And Kohler and his colleagues at the Flow Research Collective identified 22 flow triggers, conditions that increase probability of entering flow. And today we will be focusing on the 4 most powerful and most controllable factors that you can use if you want to get into the state of flow more often. First of them is clear goals. Flow requires knowing what you're going to do, what you are trying to do. And this shouldn't be vague intentions, it should be specific, immediate, and targets. And for instance, if you say that you're going to work on your project today, this might be interpreted by your brain as something as uncertain as a threat, and it's less likely for you to fall into the state of flow. But if you will make more concrete steps, plans that you're going to work for this project for 20 minutes, at certain time, at certain place, and this would make it more realistic for you, and there would be less anxiety, more probability for you to fall into the flow. So clear goals remove decision fatigue and give you a chance, and probability of entering focus is higher. And the second one is immediate feedback. Flow requires constant information about how you are doing in real time, not at the end, during the time while you are performing your task. For instance, musicians get this from the sound, athletes get it from the feel of movement, and the scoreboard, and surgeons get it from visual feedback during the procedure. And therefore, for knowledge, for instance, this requires design and built-in feedback loops. So how many words have you written? How many problems have you solved? What's the quality signal you can track in real time? For you, if you are working on a certain project, maybe frequently writing down what achievements you have completed, what exactly you have achieved, and what is left to do can also help to maintain this constant feedback loop and make you to feel motivated and help you to stay in the sense of flow. And the third one is deep embodiment, complete concentration. Flow is incompatible with divided attention. So if you are in an environment which is constantly distracting your attention, it's less likely for you to fall into the flow. So understanding what helps you to stay focused, what helps you to stay concentrated, and adjusting your environment accordingly is one of ways of using this information to make you more likely to fall into the flow, because you cannot enter the flow while checking notifications, switching between tasks, or maintaining background awareness of email. And research by Gloria Market, US Irvine, have found that after interruption, it takes over 23 minutes to return to the same level of focus. Therefore, frequent interruptions make flow neurologically impossible. So what we can learn from it is that being more specific and focusing on one task, using the full presence and adjusting your environments accordingly, whatever helps you to stay focused, to stay concentrated. All these are strategies that you can adjust and use it in order to help you to stay in the flow and to fall into the flow. And the fourth strategy is challenge skill sweet spot. We covered this in the flow channel also, but it bears repeating as a trigger because it requires active management. You must consciously calibrate task difficulty. If a task is too easy, you might be bored, and if it's too challenging, it can cause anxiety and overwhelm. Therefore, breaking your task into smaller pieces and following them can become another strategy for you to help you to stay in the flow. And elite performers constantly manage this calibration. It's a skill within a skill, and you can also improvise and be curious about it and adjust it according to your own work, according to your own condition. And the flow rituals, creating consistent pre-flow rituals